The following program is based on actual true stories on the high seas. These true stories are fish stories. Ken Corday has taken a detour from his fishing teammates in Hawaii and found his way to an enchanting volcanic island in the Society Islands of French Polynesia. A quick hop takes him from the main island, Tahiti, to Bora Bora, the leading lady in these islands. Her warmth, charm, and beauty can be overwhelming. It'll be tough to leave base camp today with views like these. Today, Ken joins a seasoned crew on Luna Sea charters. Fishing here is some of the best in the world.
Well, all year round, it's Pacific blue marlin, I would say. June, July, August, coldest time of the year. More variety of the marlin, between black marlin, striped marlin, sailfish, spearfish, and also migration of the whale. Humpback whale comes especially here for reproduction.
By mid-morning, there's a bite on the short corner. It's not putting up much of a fight.
Bora Bora Wahoo.
These fish have a keen vision, blistering speed, and a formidable set of very sharp teeth. An excellent source of protein.
Next one.
They're delicious. Local commercial fishermen cross this channel in search of their catch every day. Everyone knows everyone here. Within an hour, the same lure on the short corner attracts another set of jaws. It's deja vu with another wahoo.
Wahoo!
Just west of this small island of Taha'a,
Skipjack.
the perfect snack for marlin. Fishing with live bait is not a new technique by any means.
Beautiful bait.
It's been a popular technique for over a half a century. And advancement in rig technology has made it even more desirable. There are great payoffs using this method.
Well, you can tell when it was heavy earlier. If it was another fish, it will be more, you will feel, wow, yeah. But you will feel first the fish getting exciting. And then you're gonna...
This is a predator they had hoped would stay far away. But big fish, no matter what kind, are attracted to little fish.
We got something on, but it's...
No.
But there's something on it.
Big thing. Hey, how's that?
Hey, time on.
Shark.
Yeah.
Shark.
Yeah.
This is a bronze whaler shark, also known as a copper shark, a fast-swimming predator that's known to hunt in large groups. There's no interest in keeping this beast. From French Polynesia, we head back to the Hawaiian Islands, the land of aloha, and big blue marlin country. The Kona coast is a marlin fisherman's dream. You're fishing for marlin right when you leave the harbor. The water depths increase dramatically just off the coast, up to 2 miles deep. It's a haven for big blues, so as soon as you leave the harbor, the hooks go in the water. Captain Bill Casey is the skipper on today's charter, a long-standing member of the fishing community.
Bill Casey is like a brother. If it wasn't for Bill Casey and kind of me, I mean, I've only been here for 20 years, but all this is all taken care of by Bill Casey, and he's the one that gets you to volunteer when you don't want to volunteer and do things that you don't want to do and be on time when you don't want to. Bill Casey's like a brother.
The Monkey Biz heads south to an area called the Caves. Unique lava tube formations along this rugged cliff attract fish, especially big ones. It's a rude awakening for angler Donnie Brandt, a member of Ken Corday's Tart team. Donnie was in a dead sleep.
I have no idea what's going on here.
Looks like we got a nice little blue on here.
First mate Captain Fran O'Brien leaders the marlin to starboard side, and Captain Casey lays in the tag. The fish is released and in good health.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Coming up,
They call this marlin fishing the sport of kings.
more big blues and the difficult task of getting them to the back of the boat.
If it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
And finally, a monster blue, Tahitian style.
Got my second win, fishy.
Marlin Quest is brought to you by Airmar Technology, the leaders in chirp transducer technology, and by the Royal Kona Resort, an oceanfront landmark in the heart of Kailua Kona, Hawaii.
At Release Marine, our custom woodworking facility specializes in handcrafted sport fishing equipment and yacht furniture. Quality, durability, imagination. Release Marine. Always lead, never follow.
You've already made a great choice in electronics. Now, achieve sonar superiority with an Airmar chirp transducer. Advanced chirp technology that can find them in wrecks and find them in the depths. That's sonar superiority by Airmar.
Welcome back to Marlin Quest. The Big Island is home to some amazing lifestyles, and ranching is one of them. Rodeos are a way of life here in the upcountry for adults and kids. Wrangling really big things is a pastime in these islands. We're at ground zero of Marlin Nation here along the Kona coast. Marlin are superstars around these parts.
What it's like to catch a marlin is exciting because of the time we spend waiting to get bit by one. And just the fact you get bit by them doesn't mean you're gonna catch them. As a fisherman, it's so challenging that after doing it so many years, I still haven't figured it out. Some of the things that can go wrong when we lose a marlin is that the marlin didn't eat the bait or lure right. And it's a matter of centimeters. Whether he bites forward or back of where he actually bit, he can make a bad shot at the lure. And everything's moving so fast. The boat's moving at 8 knots, the fish is moving at 12 knots, and they're trying to connect in the perfect spot, right in its mouth, and it doesn't always get there. The other thing that the marlin have in their favor is they have that bill, and the bill always gets the hook stuck on it, but doesn't actually hook it, and it just slides right off.
Dan Dorr is today's angler. Captain B.C. Crawford takes his charter south to Sierra, just north of Kealikekua Bay.
One of the biggest thrills in fishing for me is getting to leader a big marlin. There's nothing better than having a hot fish in your hands. But if leadering's not done correctly, it can cost you more than a fish. As soon as a leader comes to hand, it's now the crewman's job to lift a fish and make it come close enough to the boat so you can get a tag or gaff in it. And by the way, you'll hear the term leadering and wiring, but they both mean the same thing. Back in the day, it was called wiring because the leader was actually made of wire. And the term leadering, well, that comes from the fact that you're actually leading the fish beside the boat. Once we get the fish close to the boat, we grab our leader, bring it down to our hip, and we take 2 wraps. 1, 2, 1, 2, and just to keep the fish coming close to us. If the fish all of a sudden takes off and you can't hold on to it, all you have to do is just point your hand at the fish, the leader comes right off, wait for the fish to come back to the boat, and start the process over again. Always walk with your fish, leading. And also, don't try and flip a jumping fish. When leadering, you need the proper tools, starting with the proper gloves for each situation. There are a couple things that every leaderman should have on him at all times. You have a mono release knife, pliers or wire cutters, just to get yourself out of trouble. Whether you call it leadering or wiring, it's the most exciting part of the game that gets the fish close to the boat for a healthy tag and release or into your cooler for a delicious dinner at home.
Coming up on Marlin Quest, giant marlin is a family tradition. Plus,
And he's working on it.
halfway around the world,
Just no rush, Ken.
there's a massive beast on the other end of the line. Marlin Quest is brought to you by Airmar Technology, the leaders in chirp transducer technology, and by the Royal Kona Resort, an oceanfront landmark in the heart of Kailua Kona, Hawaii.
I bought, every single brand of manufacturer's hooks, and I laid them on top of each other. And then I realized over the last 40 years of sport fishing, we have not moved the needle at all on our hookup percentage.
I caught a 1257, which was, at the time, the largest Pacific blue caught on this island. And I was experimenting with pure whiteheads that we called the Godfather. And I would make the skirting apparatus for them and put that on. And I would actually sand the heads by hand, put them in the water, watch them run. If they didn't run the way I wanted them to, I'd bring them back in and hone them down and throw them back in the water until they ran right. So that day, I was playing around with the lures very, very close to the boat. We were right on Kaiwi, probably 90 fathoms, which is, right in front of the harbor. The first wave lure went off, and we didn't see it. We thought it was an Ono. So we played it like it was an ono, and it started taking line and more line and more line. Pretty soon we're getting spooled, and this fish went straight offshore, spooled us almost all the way down to the knot. The fish made a big giant loop, came flying back at the boat, made a big jump right by the boat, and then actually went by the boat. We got a little bit of line and jumped right by the rocks on Kaiwi. So we got all our line back, and then it went straight out to sea and spooled us again. So 2 major runs with this fish really tired the fish out. We got on this fish, and I told Doug Haig, was my crew at the time, I said, Doug, we're gonna get 1 shot at this fish. If we get leader on it, don't let go. And he held on, and I got a gaff shot, and we got the fish turned around, had to actually plane the fish up on the fly gaff rope to get a second shot on the gaff. We got the rope on the nose, started towing it to the pier. I told my dad that I think I just landed the biggest fish I've ever seen. And he says, well, what do you think, 700, 800? And I said, no, it's a lot bigger than that. He goes, bigger than 1,000? And I said, yeah, I think so. And so he got all excited and came down to the pier, and he says, hurry up, get a tail rope on it. And I said, okay, we got the tail rope ready to go. So we get the tail rope on the fish, and we start hauling it out of the water. And what I wanted to do to swing it over towards the boat so I could close the mouth and put a tie on the mouth so we wouldn't lose anything. And as the fish swung over the pier, it lost its stomach, and we lost a lot of the contents of the stomach before getting a line around its nose. So we probably lost about 75 pounds of stomach content. Otherwise, the fish would probably have been over 1,300 pounds.
On the way, a wahine blue in Bora Bora is cause for a village celebration.
You've already made a great choice in electronics. Now, achieve sonar superiority with an Airmar chirp transducer. Advanced chirp technology that can find them in wrecks and find them in the depths. That's sonar superiority by Airmar.
It's another typical day in paradise, and today feels like one of those blue marlin days. Ken's charter is the Luna Sea. Robert, a top-notch crew member, gets the lures out. He's feeling the magic too. The Luna Sea trolls in 1,000 fathoms in the shadow of Mount Otemangu. If you were looking for one of the biggest fish in the world, this would be a good place to find it. Suddenly, a strike. This is a Tahitian giant, a Pacific blue marlin, and it's hit Ken's favorite lure, a purple softhead.
Working on it. Just no rush, Ken.
Six feet under, baby. Heavy fish. This is gonna be a while. What do you think about purple softhead, Depoy?
The what?
Purple softhead.
See what happens when you put it out?
Yeah, I see.
Nice something? Water?
No, I'm okay.
Ken has been battling this monster fish for nearly 2 hours.
Got my second win, fishy.
Finally, the fish gives up the fight, and it floats belly up.
A live marlin is preferred, so you can release it back to the wild. But this fish has died. So in this case, your best option is to boat the fish, take it to the pier, and feed a village.
Right in the corner.
How you feel, buddy?
Shot. That shot her.
Good job, Ken. Good job, good team.
Good job, team boy.
The charter heads back to the pier inside Bora Bora Lagoon, where a large crowd awaits.
We had to weigh the fish in the little town of Bora Bora. You know, there's no real scale, so we got it all up and weighed, and it weighed about 246 kilograms, and that was quite a scene. Everybody loves the fish here because they get to eat it. It goes right to everyone's table. From the head to the tail, every part of the fish is eaten. So everyone in Bora Bora that's going to get this fish tonight has fresh fish, and they'll be happy. And we're happy too.